Hello, everyone. This is Wesley here with Satoris, and I'm joined by Chase.
Hello.
And we are opening today, really quick, a copy of the Founders Deluxe Edition of Hamlet by Mighty Boards Games. We just got these in yesterday, so we're excited to have these in. Pre-orders are going to be shipped out soon, and we will have a few extra on the store. Um, so to start it off, Hamlet is going to be a game uh, about village building. So, Old English term for a hamlet is a village that does not have a church. So, the goal of the game is to work together with your fellow players while at the same time competing for resources so that you can get the most points by the time a church is built. A church will define your town no longer as a hamlet, and once the construction is finished, the game is over, and whoever has the most points wins. So
So is
it is,
it kind of like Risk?
it's not quite like Risk, more of a resource game. I'm thinking of something to compare it to.
StarCraft.
I would think more like
StarCraft 2.
no, not that. Uh, what's that really popular board game that everyone really likes? That's kind of like Civilization. I would say it's more like Civilization. You know, it's going to be a turn based.
Oh, okay.
You're going to gather resources on your turns. You're going to send your people out to do work. You're going to send your donkeys out to gather resources and bring them to different places. Um, and all of the resources on the board are shared by everyone. So if you construct something, you have to construct it in a way or a place where you might have more of an advantage using it than someone else might. But you can also go abuse other people's
I see.
resources. So
So what comes in the Founders Deluxe Edition?
So the Founders Deluxe Edition is something you can only get on Kickstarter. There's a limited number of these.
Or from
Um,
our store? Wink, wink,
well,
nudge, nudge.
yes. So we got some of these for our store. So you can go pick yours up starting tomorrow.
January 1st, 2023, baby! Starting off strong.
Oh yeah. So the game is designed for 1 to 4 players. It does have a solo mode with different solo instructions, so you can play it by yourself if you don't have anyone to play with and
That's
learn the
good, because I
game.
don't have any friends.
Well, if you don't have any friends or you want to learn the game first, whichever defines the better sadness of your life, uh, and it adds about 25 minutes of playtime per player. So it's not a long game, but it's not a quick game. So I think it's right there in that sweet spot.
It's not Monopoly or Risk, but you'll have fun.
Yeah, it's not Monopoly or Risk, but you're also not playing like Cranium. So, uh, and what you get in the Founders Deluxe Edition that the retailer edition won't have later on is you're going to get your little tile pieces. A lot of them are going to have designs and coloring. Um, you're going to get the 3D church that should have a different design. The coins that you're using in the game for currency are actual metal. And there's a few different little things. I think the bag that you put your tiles in is also not going to be in the retail edition. And there's a couple intricacies with the box itself that aren't. And so we'll jump right to that. So we'll slowly raise this off.
Like opening a new iPhone. You pull it off the top, and then the iPhone comes popping out.
So first thing to note is when you buy the Founders Deluxe Edition, you get a numbered copy. So this will never
What
be printed
number?
again.
What number do we have?
This is 11,861 out of 13,000 worldwide. This should be a worldwide number.
Wow.
I think. I could be wrong. It could just be US, but I'm pretty sure that was the amount of patrons there, was roughly the amount of patrons there were, so that's how many printed copies there will be. And then we have a lovely color printed rulebook. Pretty short and sweet. Shows all of your pieces. It actually tells you too what you get as part of the Kickstarter content. And this just goes through your basic. If if I can get to the page, your setup of the game, as well as your game structure, your turn economy, what actions are available to you on each of your turns. And if you're a fan of any kind of village building games, like I know Banished was really popular. Or even in Civilization is another one. I think this is the kind of game that those kind of people would really enjoy. So we also have our instructions to put together our 3D church. So
It's made of Legos.
No, it's not Legos. I wish it was. That would be awesome. We should do a Lego version. And this is one of the other Kickstarter things that comes with the Founders Edition. So it actually comes with tiles that once you open everything up, one of the most annoying things with board games is just throwing everything back in the box and losing stuff. So it actually comes with little, like a compartment set of tiles that you can build compartments in your box with, so that everything can be stored nice and tidily once you're done playing, so that next time you pull it out, it's not everywhere.
Nice.
And then we have another rulebook for the single player game. So if you're friendless over the holidays,
Feels bad, man.
you can play by yourself and have a lot of fun and learn how to play, so that when other people come to play with you, you already know how, and you can just help explain the rules and get over that initial hurdle of trying to teach people games, because that is not always an easy thing to do. And so now we get to the fun stuff. So we have
that bag looks kind of quality.
Right? No,
Printing.
it's nice. I mean, it's a sewn bag, and it's got your little drag piece. And this is actually, you use this in the game itself. You put the tiles inside, so that whenever you draw new tiles, you actually draw them out of here. And of course, you can store them in this too, but it's just a fun little extra thing. And then we have
when you draw a tile, I don't know if you've read the rules enough, but when you draw a tile, is it random?
I have not read the rules enough. I've not played for the first time yet, but I'm going to play soon, and I will have to look it up in the rules. And then we have our little donkey meeples.
I'll put it up on screen
Yep.
to say whether it's random or not. Because that would be kind of neat if you didn't know what tile you were going to get that you had to work with.
Look at that cute little donkey.
Kind of like a randomly generated map.
Yeah, and that's kind of the cool thing, is it does work kind of like your old school octagonal maps, but it's being pieced together as you play. So each playthrough is kind of different, and you can construct bridges to go from one piece to the next. But you have
what are you doing in my swamp, donkey?
Where's the Shrek one? There should be in here somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. So we got our little donkey meeples. We have our little people. So I'm not going to open all of these. But you've got the little painted villagers. You've got some resources for all of the different player colors. I don't know what these are for yet. I'll find out. But these don't have any designs, so these may just be extra pieces. You have your flags. So I think these are to denote like who built certain pieces or who fulfilled certain conditions. They help track like points on the map. We have our bridges that you can construct to go from place to place. And we have more resources and your little town sign. You've got your food, your wood, and your rocks for your quarry. So you can load your donkeys down and send them from place to place with your materials. And then probably one of the coolest things, at least in my opinion, that you get with the Founders Edition are like fully metal coins.
Chuck E. Cheese tokens.
Yes, they look exactly like Chuck E. Cheese tokens. But like, I'll just do one at a time. These are really cool. They're very intricate.
Yeah, they have nice designs on them.
So they're double-sided, so they actually have their value. So there's a 5 and a 1. Let's see if I can get it to focus. And that's like a sheep. And I think this one Yeah, that's a cow. And there should be another one.
Does that say 10?
No, apparently it's just 1s and 5s. I thought there was another one. But yeah, it's just those two designs. So those are really cool because you'll spend those. You'll get them and spend them throughout the game to buy different resources, or you can even, I think there's even a rule where like if you can't do anything on a turn, you can just go to the church and beg for gold or beg for money. So we have those, and then a couple extra little baggies for putting stuff in if you lose some. What is this? Oh, these are the adhesives to put your church together. I can't lose that. That's important. Then we start getting into our tiles. So this is the church punch out. So this will be the church tile and the ground floor of the church. So you'll place these down, and you'll build the actual church on top of it. So maybe I'll like try to put the church together in a different little video. Oh yeah, and here's all the pieces to put the church together. So it actually folds out and makes a 3D church, which is just really nice flair. It's nice to have like, not just, it's like playing D&D on paper versus D&D with figures. It just makes it so much better when there's something popping out at you. There's no way I'm getting these
now
out.
Now there's D&D and VR.
This is true. Oh look, there you go. So the bottom, we'll kind of start backwards because I know what these are. So these are the little cutouts that you can put inside your box to make the compartments, and it has printed on the bottom of the box what you put in each of the compartments. So that's pretty cool. So I'll just slip those back in for now. And let's see.
I'm guessing those are all the different land tiles.
Oh yeah, so you have the church for 3 to 4 players. So that other one must have been. Oh yeah, so you have 2 different ones. You have a church for 1 to 2 players. So it has like different objectives, I'm guessing. Yeah, there's different objective markers. So the game plays differently, and the tiles play differently based on how many players you have. And then you have some of the individual things. So you have like woodland, so you can collect wood. You have monuments, which gives you points if you construct it. A square, which also gives you points. Some of your individual tokens, and then you have like your milestones and things you award to your players based on who does certain things first or has the most of something. Oh yeah, it gets pretty. It can get pretty deep. You got stables, a windmill, a flour mill, your stonemason, a shrine, a farm, a warehouse, all sorts of fun stuff. An outpost, a tavern, the best place. It's where you pick up your quests. Just kidding. Sawmill. There is a couple of ponds, some ranges, some quarries. And then I think lastly, oh no, it fell out. You have your scoreboard.
Maybe those pieces that didn't have any markings are for the scoreboard.
Possibly, yeah, that's actually a good point. Because I think you have to track your progress as you go along. And then once the game is over, or once the church is finished being constructed, I know that starts the end cycle. So when the last piece is built, everyone finishes the round of turns, and then the game's over, and you just track your points. Whoever has the most wins.
Neat.
But I think that is it for this unboxing, and maybe we'll do more. Maybe I'll do like a small time lapse or upload some pictures of the church later on.
So I would assume this is a game you would need a decent amount of table space for.
Yeah, I would say, well, and I don't know, I have some pretty big hands. So like they are small pieces, but I imagine a 2-player game might not get very out of hand. But when you get 4 players and 4 players are putting tiles down for however many rounds, I imagine, yeah, you might need a decent bit of space to make this work. In fact. Oh, that's satisfying. No, get out of here.
I've got fireworks going off all around me.
Not I. I live in, well, not the middle of nowhere, but in between 2 places, so it's basically nowhere. There we go. So let's move those aside, and let's pop off our tavern and our outpost. So yeah, if you have your church in the center, I mean, the pieces are designed to do that. So like, you can set it up to where your roads flow together. And I think the rules are pretty lax about like how you pair things up. Like you can block that road to face a road another way, or you can set it up like that. I think there's a lot of open-endedness to how you put things. And I believe when there's not 2 tiles that have a path, you can construct a bridge to like create a path across 2 tiles. It's very interesting.
I was wondering what the bridges were for.
Right, yeah. So you have to, sometimes they like, let's just say, you know, I put this tile this way and I blocked it. You may be able to come in and put a bridge here so that you can still get to that without having to go all the way around or something. But it does very heavily remind me of those old school hexagonal strategy games. Oh, now it's just going to be fun to play with.
Well, I think that's going to be it for this video, unless you do that time lapse of the church, which will be inserted here.
Oh, it's fun. I like putting these together. Oh. There you go. That's better. All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching, and we hope to see you for our future videos, and pop by the store if you're interested in the Founders Edition of Hamlet.
Yeah, because the Kickstarter's over. So
yes, Kickstarter's over.
Now you have to find
some
other stores kind of like ours to get your hands on some of these Founders Edition.
Right. Retailers were the last to be shipped their copies of this edition. So now that we have our hands on these, that means these are done. So
yeah, they're going to go fast.
Whatever is out there, and